Joburgers are often left in the dark. If it's not rolling blackouts, it's cable theft and vandalism. Authorities say they're working around the clock to get a handle on this problem. So let's discuss this issue now with Sergeant Thela, General Manager of Security Services at City Power. Sergeant, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. How big of a problem is this? I think as residents, we vent and complain about it, but you have the stats. You see the reports of incidents almost at probably an hourly basis, not a daily basis. But how big of a problem is this?
Hi, good morning, South Africans. Look, the problem I think is quite very huge. The problem is very huge. If you look at statistics, as an example, the whole of last year, talk the financial year, we had 1,899 incidents. Well, that was 2021, and last year we've seen an increase of around about 15% of those incidents. They went up to 2,176. So, on average, on a daily basis, we are looking at around about 9 to 10 incidents. And the challenge with that, they come with huge cost, specifically in terms of repairs. But at the same time, we also suffer the revenue in terms of unserved energy. And then it's worse when now it gets to the customers. Because remember, customers, they run businesses. And if you have got no energy, it therefore means you have lost productivity, you have lost income.
Right.
And that can then force businesses to shut down and results to unemployment. Then we are back to square one with crime.
Again, yeah.
Yes.
Have you found that, the criminals, the perpetrators become more and more sophisticated each time you think that you found a strategy to resolve the problem?
Look, there are various factors that really affect us here. I'll make just mention of three issues here. Firstly, you look at geographical factors. You then look at the magnitude of our network. Then you bring in the issue of time. All those factors combined, our network is quite very huge. And it becomes very difficult to police it. And it's running in various geographical areas, remote areas, and the likes. Now, if you talk of time, when the blanket of nightness come in, load shedding, then that's when the criminals have got the field work. And they can just go from one point to the other. And what I've seen quite recently is that they also monitor the load shedding schedule to say if a specific area is down, then they move to that particular area, they harvest it. Then they move to the other area. Quite recently, as of last week, we looked at Road even over the weekend. Road was worse. We don't really know what is going on there, but we're of the view that I think there is some other insider threats, if I were to call it like that.
What kind of insider threat?
Insider threat, well, it could potentially be people who are quite very familiar with our network. They know how our network operates. We've looked at the modus operandi. And you move from one mini substation to the other, you start to realize to say, look, the person who have vandalized this mini substation yesterday is the same person who vandalized it today. At times, you will also find people in our network during load shedding. I mean, the electricity code will tell you that during load shedding, you drop your tools. You literally can't do anything. Up until it's restored, it's when then you can start to work.
Right.
But you just find people walking around, then you ask yourself, what are they doing?
It is a call for concern, Sergeant, I have to say. But as far as City Power is concerned, what are you doing to clamp down this crime and get to the bottom of it? Look,
we've done a lot of work. Unfortunately, we don't really have the time to come and talk about it. I think thanks for this opportunity because we're able to come and talk about this. Look, we firstly acknowledge that you can't deal with cable theft and vandalism by yourselves. You need to be able to mobilize communities to come to the fore to assist you. As City Power, what we've done, we've developed a community partnership policy. It will be going through our EXCO this week, and I think obviously it's going to go for approval. And then we will then start to invite community members to come and assist us, because we checked internally there were certain legal issues we needed to deal with, hence then we went through the policy issue. I have to say, in the city of Johannesburg, we had a lot of people who were coming forward saying, please, let's help you to protect this network.
Right.
As of last week, I had communities in the Robertsham area. Others are actually in the Orange Grove. They are very much willing to come to the fore, but we needed to have a uniform standard in terms of how we're going to deal with them as well. So that's actually one of our strategies. We are embarking in some project as well with the CPF, Community Policing Forum. Last week we had a meeting with the chairperson of the CPF board in Gauteng, Mr. J.T. Masilela. And he has got very wonderful strategies in terms of how we can then assist us to deploy the patrollers.
Right.
But one other thing which we've also seen, coming to the security part, because I think people sometimes they will talk about security and they don't understand what security is. Look, what we've got to learn, we have to move away from the traditional security of a guard with a knobkiri patrolling from point A to point B.
Okay.
In terms of city power, we are also embarking on what we'll call local security contracting. Meaning to say, if we've got an infrastructure around Hyde Park, we then get a security company which is within that particular locality that can then deploy security systems, and they will then be able to monitor and respond quite very quickly. Yes.
All right. Well, that's all the time I had with you, but I appreciate you coming on and just assuring residents that you are doing the best that you can, not only to clamp down on the crime, but to work alongside the community that have also volunteered to assist you in making sure that you deal with cable theft and vandalism around the city of Joburg. Sergeant Thela, General Manager Security Services at City Power, thank you so much for your time.